Hello, my name is Grian, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. Now, not a lot has happened on the build-off front. Maybe they're scared, or maybe I've just won. Maybe this is as far as it goes, but Mumbo and Discal haven't really changed anything since the last episode, and I don't blame them, because it takes an awful lot of time to do something like that. But I think since they're not doing anything, maybe we could add a little bit more. But first, there's a few things to tick off the list. First of all, what on earth is going on here? I spotted this guy earlier, and he seems to be having a bit of a mud bath. I don't know how he got in here, but he's actually able to walk around. I think I saw him over here first. Are you okay? What is Doc doing in that house over there? There's some sort of shenanigans going on. I know it. Over here, we have been repopulating the village. There are villagers galore once more, and there are bread for all of them. So, basically, in order to keep this village alive, we simply have to just keep repopulating it with lots of villagers. But I've done that so many times now that it's getting a little bit old. So, I'm just going to do that in the background to keep this place alive. The salmon man, or the sal man, he's still in here. This guy's still in here, still doing his thing, although he's no longer spinning. I think at some point we'll have to let him out. But one of the biggest additions to the Hermitville village is not this, not that, it's that. There's a giant spaceship. Well, I assume it's a spaceship or a space station or something. So we definitely need to go and check this out for sure. Like, what on earth? It's not in the boundaries of Hermitville itself. What? Oh, again. Thankfully, I keep Elytra on me, but I need to get that repaired. So, look at this. What a magnificent looking build. So, let's take a look at the end here. What have we got? A sign. Welcome to UFO Outfitters Shop. And then there's a convex sign. Well, that's the sign of Cub and Scar. Let's head up on... Oh! It totally looks like I'm being abducted! Oh, that's clever. I like that. It's like a tractor beam. How did I not see that? You have been abducted by Concorp UFO. Yes, of course I have. Yeah, so this is a Concorp venture. What are they selling? That's what I want to know. 16 stone cutters for 1 diamond. Why on earth would I need 16 stone cutters? So they're selling all sorts. Smooth quartz. Wow. That's a good deal. 2 diamonds for that much quartz. So they seem to be selling a variety of things in here. Why you would need 16 smithing tables? But this is a handy shop to have nonetheless, especially with this quartz. I feel like Sahara could even just buy all of this out and say, yeah, we're going to stock quartz and sell it for maybe a little bit more. The question is, how do I get out? I genuinely don't see a way out. I think I've been bamboozled here. I think I'm a little bit stuck. There must be an exit somewhere. Who makes a shop and doesn't put an exit on? Oh, wait. Totally me. Remember when I made the pickle shop? I think I have to break my way out of here because I can't see an exit anywhere. Oh dear. The last thing I want to do is break something, but I don't know how to leave. All right. I've just got to go. So this is going to be tricky. I'm going to try and leave and replace. Oh, no, I failed. I was going to try and replace it as I fell. So I'm just going to have to do a flyby. No, okay, now I'm back in. All right, there we go. No, here we go. Where is it? Oh, this is much more difficult than I thought. Concorp, make an exit in your spaceship. Yes, 1. Okay, we're back to square one. Yes, yes. I am not kidding. That took about 15 minutes just to get out of this spaceship. I think I've been pranked, and it wasn't even meant to be a prank. Concord, please, make an exit somehow. I think you forgot the door. Right, well, now that that's out of the way, we can inspect some of the other things that have been going on in the village. One of which is a pillager outpost. And it says, attention patrols, this is a legit outpost, keep patrolling. And assume that this is something to do with Cub. Yeah, there we go. There's Cub, and there's Cub's assistant. So they're clearly up to no good. I don't really know what the outpost does. Maybe it's to encourage the pillagers? I don't know. Now, I've been thinking about how we can interrupt Mumbo's rocket, and I've come up with an idea. So we don't actually need to put anything right in front of it, okay? We don't need to put something directly in front of here. We could make a crane attached to the building here, and the crane doesn't actually need to touch this at all. All it needs to do is touch this bit. So this is as far as it goes. Mumbo will likely assume that I've missed altogether and still launch the rocket, and then it's going to get caught when it gets past, and it should stop his rocket from reaching the build limit. So I was thinking that it could go around this area and then have a bit of an overhang and then hang some sort of crate here just so it's in the way. So let's build this really, really quickly. So I decided to make this crane thing, and I actually went for a design that I kind of made in a different video using the scaffolding as the main part, but it just looks so luminescent that I decided to get rid of it. I tried oak wood, and then I just reverted back to spruce to try and make it fit in with everything else. So experiment failed, however, made a very quick crane. There we have it. So, I've obviously not made this any taller because I don't need to, but I needed to stop Mumbo. But I've been rather clever about how I've done it. So, I've got my crane, and it is sticking over the edge of this. Like, it is still supported. I made sure it looks like it's supported. It's a bit complicated under there. However, it still feels like it's part of the build. It doesn't feel completely out of place. It's got the counterweight there, and then it's got some, like, barrels as crates. Now, here's the thing. I didn't want to put it straight over the top of the rocket here because that would have been too obvious. So what I'm hoping is that Mumbo doesn't really notice and he goes, ha 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 ha, this is still going to work. Grian missed it, and then he's going to launch it anyway. And what's going to happen is that because this is overhanging, it's going to get caught on that and then stop halfway up in its launch. So essentially it will go up about that much. So it would end up going, ooh, I don't think it would go higher than my house, but that's quite a big leap up from where it is. Maybe what I'll do is actually move this back again and have it hanging there. That looks way less suspicious than where it is right now. In fact, I'm going to do that, see if that makes a big difference. So let's check. At the moment, the sign is actually going to be interrupted by that block. So I can actually move this. Okay, there we are. We are now finished. And that looks like it should just pass straight over it. I have no idea if Mumbo's going to fall for it. But that looks pretty convincing that I've missed it altogether. And actually, we might need to remove that, because if that doesn't stop it, that certainly will. I need to start thinking about defense and longevity. I need to stop Mumbo getting higher on his house. I need to stop Iskal, and I need to stop whatever's going on over here. Looks like Concorp really are looking to do something with this build-off. And I think as far as the build goes, it's done nothing but add to this build. You can kind of tell, this actually looks like it's just coming out of the side of this part of the build. And I think a crane on this kind of thing looks really at home. You only really learn or find out what this is by flying around it and taking a look. And then you find out it's actually a crane on a platform, which it doesn't look nearly as supported as it perhaps should do, but I can definitely fix that. Now that the defense is done, let's head back to the old lands, because I've got a couple of elytra that need repairing. Basically, Sahara is now finished. If we go into the storage room, you will see that we have collected over 600 shulker boxes from a giant end raiding or end busting session. We've got all of the shulker boxes we could ever need for the system. Our trusted Sahara technicians will then load up all these shulker boxes into whatever this stuff does, And then we will be ready for the grand opening. Now, that's more my style. What will we do for this grand opening, you say? Well, I don't want to give it too much away. However, there's a little bit of tidying up that needs to be done in preparation. But I think we can safely say that in the next episode, Sahara will officially open. And the issue that, well, maybe I don't need to say the issue because you can see it right in front of you. There's just torch spam. There's no tidiness here whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is spend a little bit of time creating something that's more worthy of an opening. So when people are in here, it looks a little bit more finished than just torch spam, which is going to mean hiding some stuff under carpets, making a stage, all sorts of things. The obvious thing for me would be simply to add a huge carpet with loads of glowstone underneath, but I don't know about that. I could do consecutive rings. I'm going to have to think about this a little bit. I don't actually have any glowstone, so I'm going to go and have to borrow some from our old buddy, old pal, Mumbo Jumbolio. I just need to remember how to get there. Most people run through this, I just fly. This looks different. This looks very different. Huh. What do these do? Oh, this is amazing. He hasn't labeled them though. It breaks them all. Or some of them. That's confusing. Oh, wow. Now this is fun. It's taking a while to load, but there's loads of bamboo. So what does this do? Does this collect? I probably shouldn't be messing with the very complicated machinery. Oh, this is absolutely insane. Look at this! Mumbo, what have you been doing? You should be building Sahara. I've now got to press all the buttons. Uh-oh, sent another one off. Oh my goodness. It runs along and it punches out the pumpkins. That is so cool. I don't even know what's going on there. It's like a pumpkin printing machine. This is like a theme park. Press all the buttons, magical stuff happens. There's a farm, and I think, well, what I came for was some glowstone from here. Ah, there we go. Oh my goodness. There's so many materials in here. So this is the benefit of knowing a lot of redstone. Now, before I leave, I'm going to make sure that these machines make their way home again so that I don't break them by leaving. It doesn't look like it's being collected. Oh, no, there they go. The collection system's off. And there we go. No, it's not sending it off again, is it? What is this? Look at this machine. It's like a car. Oh, wow. This is like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Seriously? Look at all the magical things that are happening. I'm like 5 minutes in and it's still going. I'm hoping it ends soon because I want to leave. Ah, there we go. Looks like this should be the end of it. Finally. Okay, we could leave now. I hope I didn't break anything. Thanks, Mumbo, as always. Well, that was a much more exciting adventure for glowstone than I was prepared for. But now I can fill in this area with a bit better lighting than I have been. So I've made a bit of an A in here, and then all I need to put in is a sea lantern in the middle, and you've got the architect logo. Obviously it's a 2-block center because of that chest, but there's not a lot I can do about that. But this lights it up really, really nicely without any fuss whatsoever. Now to cover it up with a carpet. You may be wondering why I left a space here. Well, I thought this could be our little stage, or temporary stage, for the actual opening. There we go. We've got a brand new temporary wooden stage, although I don't know whether this will ever get removed. So this is where the podium is going to be. Like when we have our big grand opening, we're going to obviously cut the ribbon. We're going to have everybody stand here, and this will be where the presentation takes place. Now, for our special guests that we're going to maybe have, I want to create like a little stage up there or for the CEO of the company, and that may or may not be me. We'll find out. And hopefully this grand opening will go really well. So you can see I've made the architect logo there. I've lit this up with a bit better than the torch spam. And hopefully next episode this will be ready to go. I've spent a little bit of time and I think I'm pretty much there with everything that we're going to need for the big grand opening this weekend. So if we go up here, I have added just a little bit. I've removed all of the torch spam that was here. I've added a few trees. I need to figure out how to fill this space here, but I'm sure it won't be too difficult. Maybe a carpet or something very, very simple. Nothing too major. However, it does look slightly more finished and complete than it did at the start with just torches everywhere. And I think a lot of you will be very happy to see how clean this has become. I've also decorated around this, giving this a trim, so when you see the minecart come along with your goodies, then it will go through here, and anyone that's sitting down and having a little meal can see it then drop through there and into the system. Now, I did actually have a little word with Iskow about where we're at, and we decided what we're going to stock. We decided the prices on things, and he's going to make sure that everything is working over here in the warehouse. So with that done, and with the conversation that we've had, that leaves Sahara very much open, so to speak. So it's time to get my, outfit on, and in the next episode, I guarantee you, Sahara will be opening, and we will be generating at least a couple of diamonds. I also am going to reduce the price of my elytra course because people are having such a hard time with it. What I'm going to do is change it to 2 runs for 1 diamond. So you get double the runs for your money. That means people can get a bit more addicted to it because I'm hoping that they will produce a few more results for me. Because I've been doing this elytra course just when I'm a bit bored, I just sort of go round it, and I've actually managed to do a no-hit run twice. But unfortunately I have no evidence for that because I wasn't recording. However, it is possible. I have done it. Not that time, but it is possible, and I reckon that if I was recording those exact runs, I probably would have beaten my score. We need to come up with a better system of travel between the 114 village and the main island, because seriously, it takes so long to get between them, and the path is so weird because no one's changed it since day 1. We just need a bit of a better system. Now that I'm actually back in the village, I discovered something very, very upsetting. There was me spending a lot of time detailing this whole thing, and I actually forgot to include the time-lapse, so there's the time-lapse of me detailing this build. Obviously, it's not mega exciting, but you can see me going around, putting all the windows in, etc. It's just a formality, basically. There's no way that the inside of this build can be used. It's so unpredictable. But what I learnt very recently is that my house actually isn't the tallest. If you remember last episode, I made sure that we were just 2 blocks taller than Scar's house. So this is 63.5. Look what Scar's done over in the distance. He has added 2 end rods and an iron bar. He added like a little satellite dish. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not very much mistaken, that makes his house top of the list at 165 blocks tall. Now, if that isn't cheeky, I don't know what is. But 2 can definitely play at that game, Scar. You may have been top temporarily, but that is ridiculous. So, mine is 63.5, 64, 65, 66, 67. We are 167. That is 165. We are back on top. 2 can play at that game. Good times with Scar. Don't you worry about that. And that doesn't look out of place at all. This can't end well. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that this family feud is going to end particularly well. I really hope that Mumbo and Iskall get on and see what's going on, because I really want this to continue. I mean, I don't really know where build height is. It's like 200 and something or other, so it's like maybe about here. Not sure. But there's still a huge amount for us to build before we reach the top. And I, for one, can't wait to see what happens. I predict that by the end of this little feud, we're going to have the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened on Hermitcraft end up somewhere around here. And honestly, I'm just a bit excited. So I'm afraid that's all from me, everybody. I'm afraid today we did quite a lot of preparation stuff, getting Sahara ready, and trying to make sure that our house still remains on top. However, sometimes it just ends up that way, and we have to do quite a lot of preparation to get anywhere. So with the sun setting, I will say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!